Be me. Always had a interest in guns since I was 6. Would always fantasize about shooting guns and having an impressive collection. Father is one of those types where he talks about loving being an American and is happy for Second Amendment and all that. Will not under any circumstances purchase a firearm or teach me how to do it. Over the years via the internet, friends and neighbors, learn how to shoot, take care and be safe with firearms. Decide enough is enough after ogling about getting a gun for myself. Enter pawn shop. Like Destiny, literally see dream gun Evo wanted since I was 16. Has original case, paperwork and even buy lists back when the company was still around. Am fucking doing this. MP3. Decide it's worth the risk of him discovering it or finding me out with it. Will not allow this opportunity to pass. Buy it. Get home. Father is home. Fuck me. While trying to figure out what to do, he walks out, asks what's in the case. Decide I can't go down the route of none of your business due to the case. Tell him it's a gun. He completely freaks out saying how has always told me he doesn't want a firearm on his property. Says how I am never going to be trusted and from now on I will need to be frisked when I come back from the somewhere. Says my room will need to be inspected due to lack of trust. Will not let me enter the house. Threatens to call the authorities on me if I do not leave his property with my gun. Go back to the pawn shop. Pawn it back for the cheapest I can while thinking about my next move. Neighbor is nice enough to let me store my gun in his safe. Still there to this day. Probably going to smuggle the gun back so I can actually fucking inspect and clean it. That or move out. Eva been a home health care for my mom for a long time but that's not easy and this firearm fiasco is a issue I am still mad about and this is yet another thing on which I will never forgive him for. Be me, 10yo. Going through dad's box of stuff from college in the basement hoping for a magnet with teats on it or something I'd find pickroll. Beg dad to let me use it, he finally says yes. Takes me to store and we get copperheads and CO2. We get back to the house, mom is out with my aunt and my dad's childhood friend comes over to show off his Harley he built and see the Triumph my dad was building. Go under the back deck and line up some empty bottles to shoot. Literally never used a BB gun before so I don't know how to aim, miss nearly every bottle. Click, gun jams. Intrusive thought.wins.jpg. Put hand in front of the muzzle and pull the trigger for literally no fucking reason. In slow motion, see a copperhead blast into my left ring finger, can literally see the BB buried in tendons. Freak the absolute fuck out, run into the garage and tell my dad I shot myself. His friend says I told you he would. Dad pops the BB out and it rolls on the floor, bandages my finger. Don't tell mom, okay? Mom comes home. Sees me white as a ghost, asks what's wrong, I immediately spill the beans. And that's why I never got to have a BB gun again until I was like 16. Also. Be me, 8, early 2000s. Over at friend's house. Want to see my dad's cool old rifle collection? Go up to his dad's room, open up giant wooden chest in corner of the room. Full of Milsurp rifles. Friend pulls out bolt gun, I think it was a Mosin. Cycles the bolt, levels it at my stomach. Click. We laugh, go on back downstairs and continue putting thumbtacks on the ends of Nerf darts and shooting them at each other. I realize now that my friend, who quite frankly was always way smarter than me and loved to freak me out, was aware that the rifle was unloaded, and just wanted to see my reaction, but goddamn if it doesn't still kinda freak me out thinking about it. P.S. I also shot a Spanish Mouser out my back bedroom window when I was 19 in a suburban neighborhood because I wanted to test it out. Oh, you don't know half of it. Be me. Finally get a shooting license. Sweet, I'll get into long-range shooting. Get rifle. Nearest long-range shooting range is 80 kilometers from me. Whatever. Eventually get bored of driving 2 hours every time I want to shoot plus 308 ammo is expensive. Last December. Find out there's a clay range really close to where I live. Try contacting them, no luck. Ask the gun store if they know anything about it. Yeah, supposedly they'll open around Christmas. First days of January, go there, lots of excavators, trucks, etc. Ask one of the boomers there for info. We're in the middle of some renovation works, we'll open by Easter. Decide there and then to go trade in my long-range rifle for a OU. Easter comes. Try contacting them, no luck again. Eventually go there yet again last Saturday. We won't open before the end of May. Sigh. Smartest Bongoloid. Me. On the other side, hunting some deer to fill up my freezer. Brought the ol' 45 to 70 out today. Bit much for deer, but hey, you never know what you'll run into out here. Walk past an old wagon trail while following some fresh tracks. Suddenly out of nowhere hear a man yell at me from down the path. Halt there, wanderer. Surrender your valuables and you may just walk away from this unscathed. Jogging towards me awkwardly was a young man in a fucking cape. Wearing a fucking domino mask. Visibly out of breath. Process what's happening to me. Lol. LMAO. Unsheathes a rapier. At haste. Stand and deliver. Hand over your coin, and valuables. Raise my rifle and point it right next to your head. Pull the trigger. The concussive blast of the 405-grain bullet leaving the barrel exploded his right eardrum. Probably will never hear out of that ear ever again. Drops his sword and falls to the floor screaming in pain. Lol. Continue my hunt for those tasty deer. Didn't get anything but a good laugh that day. I'll start with one that still makes my blood boil. Me. 2014-ish. Browsing Reddit, hey nobody's perfect? Stumble across Zoomer post. Apparently his granddad was a legit Chad in Vietnam. Rifle mouth during a VC ambush and he fought his way back to camp with his good old 1911. Holy fuck. Entire family owes its existence to Street JM Browning. Flash forward to present. Based Zoom set to inherit grandpa's trusty steel, too young to buy his own but can own one as inheritance. Think it's real right? MP3. Knows he's getting it in the will, misses grandpa dearly but also understandably excited to have something like this to remember him by, like a young samurai inheriting the clan daisho and all the family stories with it. Wakes up that morning for his rightful claim. Sees cunt mom there with bicrol Karen face. Apparently she'd already handed it over to the local PD to be destroyed, some blue Yankee shithole state probably Massachusetts. Not sold or even donated, given up for destruction. She didn't believe in guns and didn't want one in the house or on the streets. Reed wanted to dunk on the other roasties in the PTA. All he gets is a harsh lesson in adulthood before his time. Zoom bro, if you're still out there, I feel your pain every time I think of this. I hope you're a passionate enthusiast and collector and that you haven't spoken to that bitch in years. Bait thread but till you, anyways. Me, year 2044. Here bumpin' night. Grab my trusty BioFire smart gun from the nightstand. Round the corner, see the bad guy and aim my gun. I pull the trigger, nothing. Pull again, nothing. Home intruder notices me, shoots me with his stolen antique high point. I lay there, dead. MFW the fingerprint scanner had some lint on it. MFW the facial recognition software didn't pick up my face in the darkness. Cutting edge technology. Additionally, I'm too cheap to buy a gun safe, locker or even a bedside lock box. Better buy a safer gun. I'm too stupid to pay attention to my kids to make sure they're not grabbing my guns. Better buy a safer gun. I'm too stupid to check if my gun's cleared. Better buy a safer gun. I'm too stupid to use the safety on my gun or simply not put my finger on the trigger. Better buy a safer gun. As I'm writing this reply, knowing that it is purely a bait thread, I am still getting genuinely more and more pissed off. Smart guns are the single most retarded thing anyone has ever thought of, and ancient Egyptians used to believe fucking semen was toxic. If any of you fuckers ever actually buy one of these things, you deserve to get shot by nigger Tyrone and your wife and daughter raped in front of you. Jesus fuck, I'm actually so pissed off I'm going to go do burpees until I can't feel anything. Fuck you up. Be me, 26 yo retard. Have a long time GF of 6 years. It didn't work out, broke up last year. Get into another relationship. Shorter, went wrong at the end, but okay. Meet up with female friend from college. Always kinda liked her, it was never the time. She just recently broke up with her 6-year BF. End up hooking up with her. I didn't intend it at first, but we start dating. She clearly wants a relationship greater than everything is going great. All of a sudden she says she wants to break up. Says she's not ready for a relationship yet. Total change of attitude, has dating apps on her phone. Still says to me please don't go when I'm about to leave. It's fucking me up far worse than it should. The worst thing is everybody telling me that I can finally be alone. As if fucking random girls from Tinder was something good and being in stable monogamous relationships was not. It's fucking sick. Hi/K//fa/here. Thought you guys might find this funny. Be me. Want to buy a pair of aviator sunglasses. Buy some used Dior ones from a seller online. Good reviews, not a scammer or selling fakes. Buy them. $120. Check his location. It's Ukraine. Kiev specifically. Package ships the same day Russia fucking invades. Package never arrives. I don't file a chargeback claim because it's a fucking war and this guy was probably on his way to the post office when shit went down. TFW, some Russian or Ukrainian soldier is probably wearing them right now if they're still alive. MFW. It helped me get a GF. Be me. Autistic but good looking. People talking about the war at an after-work event at a bar in March 2022. Other people talk about how Russia bad. Iceberg out about how actually Ukraine bad, NATO bad. Crowd gathers around to try to argue with me. Having to use all my might not to say the word globohomo. I've autistically memorized enough facts and Ron Paul talking points to hold my own anyway. Girls see crowd gathered around me. Assume I'm popular rather than figuring out I'm a contrarian. They start mirroring me. I ask one out later. She says yes. Only lasted a few months because I'm Iceberg, but hey, it's something.